What you're looking at here is a whole mess of cameras, and I am going to show you today a Sony EX-3 being controlled via the 8-pin. Alongside I have two studio cameras here. One's just got a Panasonic lens. The other one's got a Angino with an adapter, and they're all going out. All these cameras are all going out via fibre over to way over there somewhere. There's an ATEM 2CNA up there somewhere, and the EX-3 is going out via, again, another fibre. It's using one of these camera converters, and interestingly enough, because the EX-3 has a reference in, you can see there's Genlock reference in, we've got SDI coming out and going into the camera converter. And here's a little trick. Normally I put a bigger monitor up here, similar to that one there, where I can change the from camera to what's online. It just happens to be that camera's online. But what we have here is the camera's output going into the camera converter, but coming back in on the Genlock is video, because it only Genlocked to video, standard def video, and we've got it coming out of the return video feed that's coming back on the fibre. It's going in through a little converter box down here, which converts HD SDI to standard def composite video. And this little box here is only about $100, and but it gives me the ability to be able to Genlock the EX-3 exactly the same way as the studio cameras Genlock. They are always reference to the return video, which is just happens to be digitally procamped, etc., etc. So the fourth camera I got here is a little micro studio camera. You can see down there with a Panasonic Lumix lens on it, and I've just got a, as you saw a moment ago, a big viewfinder on there, and it's going back out through a camera converter. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the camera converter with this camera at the moment, but I'm not going to talk about that at the moment because it may be something to do with what I'm doing. But I have return video going in, and I've got program coming out going into the box, and I won't go into the problem I'm having, but when I get a solution, hopefully it's something I've done wrong. Now, as I said, the EX-3 is being controlled by the 8-pin, and that 8-pin is going down here, and it's going into a Sony CNA converter, and that plugs, the 8-pin comes into here, and then it just plugs into the network. Now this particular converter is designed to control all Sony cameras, being either IP cameras or net LAN cameras, plus it also has the ability to be able to control the 8-pin. I am currently working on a separate interface that will only control the 8-pin, so that you don't need this CNA box. But that box is quite useful for if you want to use big Sony cameras that have the LAN control or network controls for CCU control, which goes through their main MCU unit, blah blah blah, all the funny things in it. Anyhow, sitting back over here at my desk, I have one of my 4x CCU controllers here, and I have that's the CCU control here, and that's the program output there, which I can, let me just put a quad split up here, and there you have just the 4 cameras. Now all 4 cameras are all controllable with the CCU, so if I just come down here, you'll see all four cameras now got their tally lights on, which because they are all on air on the quad split. But if I just go up to a control panel over here, if I cut to camera 1, so I can cut all the four cameras here. If I go over here, you'll see camera 1. You see that tally light comes on there. Camera 2 there. Here's a bit of magic going on over there. That's the camera 3, which is the little micro studio camera. And then over here we have the next camera. And you'll see we've even got tally lights on the EX3. And if we come around and have a look at the viewfinder on the EX3, you'll actually see even inside the viewfinder up here it says call, which is their way of saying tally, but the viewfinder wasn't actually designed to have a tally, but see if I can focus on that. But they did have a call feature which I've used to be the tally. So whenever that says call, it means you're on air, but that red light on the front is a good old-fashioned tally light. So that's the tallies all working as per the same with all the cameras. So whiz pan back around to here again. I'm trying to do this really quick. Anyhow, so I'm going through a little one of my controllers, which is sitting down there. It's crunching all the numbers, and if you have a look at what I've got here, I've just got that's the micro studio camera there, which if I just put that to line, go back over here, and just put that up to here on the camera. There it is there, and I'm just going to hit the autofocus on it, so it'll focus in on the lens. So that's the actual lens of the EX3, and I just wanted to show you this. I'm just going to go down here and control the iris, and you'll see there's the iris, that's coarse. I'll do it on fine. It's me just controlling the iris fine, and I'm actually just controlling that here, just using the ATEM software control panel. And as you can see here, I'm controlling the iris. Down on here, if I use my focus, if I use my right focus, my CCU controller, you'll see looking at the waveform, it's the iris going up, it's the iris going down. Okay, so to me that's the most important thing for a camera to do, but we have all the other things too. Here we have blacks. If I turn the blacks, you'll see I'm crushing the blacks, and bring the blacks back up again, and again on the software control panel, I turn the blacks down. Oh, the camera's over here, it is. You see the blacks going down, blacks going up. So that's all doable stuff. I'm just going to bring the iris back up again now. We have the ability to be able to do dB gains. I'll just show you this all on the software control panel, but we can do all the same stuff on here. I just come into we just go down to like gain here, and if I hold my finger on the gain button, I can actually turn the gains, and you can see the gains stepping up and changing the gains. Those same gains I can do up here on the control panel. As you have a better focus, there you go. And as I do the gains, you can see the gains are here. That's 0, 6, 12 and 18. Now the Sony EX3 has more, or all Sony cameras have more selections in gain, but I've only done these to suit because the ATEM CCU controller only has the 4 gains. I will probably convert when this is in direct mode, which I'll talk about some other time, talking to the CCU controller for the EX3. It will have the ability to be able to get all the gains that are available on the EX3 or on any Sony camera. Let me just turn the gain down a bit. Now we also have shutter. Now with the Sony camera, the shutter is they don't have 50. They don't have a shutter speed of 150. They have 160. So whenever it says 150, it's actually on the camera. It's actually 100th. If you go to 160th, it will. You can see it up here. There's the little video assist monitor. You can see that says 160. Even though, I mean, if I put it onto 150, it shows shutter speed 60, 75. So all the shutters speeds that the ATEM has, the Sony has them differently, so it has to convert them a little bit just to try and give you the effect that you want. Another problem with, or the biggest problem with these Sony cameras is that they don't actually have the ability to change the colour temperature or the degrees Kelvin, and the reason is that they use just in their normal paint, it will automatically switch through the different colour temperatures so that you're never out of range on anything. Now, so what that basically means is that the colour temperature control on the ATEM doesn't do anything, or won't do anything in respect to the Sony cameras. Now again here I'm just showing the EX-3, but what I've done, because the Sony cameras can accept an auto colour balance, the ATEM CCU can't send out an auto colour balance. So I'm just going to go and put that camera to line. Camera 4, there it is there, that's the EX-3. You go back to CCU down here, and I'm going to, if I just tell it to change to any colour temperature, if I hit the button, what it does, it tells it to do an auto colour balance. And in doing so, if I go and grab all the colours, just go and select gain here, and here's the colour wheel. And as I'm turning this around, you can see it's changing all the RG. It actually changes the red and blue. It never changes the green. So you can still do a full colour adjustment. And that's using the colour wheel. Of course, you can use the just drag these as well. That's blue being dragged down, dragged up. So if I actually just pull this into some weird colour grade mode like that, you can see it's sort of way there. As soon as I hit anything to do with the degrees Kelvin or the colour temperature, you'll see that it's moved up, because what it's done is done an auto colour balance, and then it's then sent those values back out to the ATEM so that it can display on the colour wheel the actual colour temperature, or where it sits in the wheel. Now, another limitation is in gamma. The Sony camera, the EX-3 at least, can't handle variable gammas like the ATEM cameras can, but it can handle a straight gamma. So we can actually control the gammas here, and you probably can't see it on this particular shot. Let me just close your eyes a bit, you might see it. Bring the blacks down a bit. Now as I'm adjusting, you can see that's actually the gammas being adjusted. So you can control the RGB gammas, which really aids in matching different brand cameras. And of course, if we go to the lift control, which is pedestals, which is over here, lift. Again, I can change all the blacks, the red, green, and blue. Well, it's actually again, you can see here it's changing the blacks. If I just bring the pedestal up a bit, and I can then just change all the blacks and that. And of course, if I just go here and tell it to reset everything, reset all. That's it. That's the way the camera looks in the ATEM default mode. And of course I can just quickly do a colour balance and then bring the iris up, and we're all happy. We can all do that. Now again with the control, the 4x CCU controller, we can go into gain paint mode. You've got gains, gammas, and these have the same limitations as the ATEM software control panel. We can control all the colours from here. Let's go back to gain and give you an example. That's gamma. The display's not coming up too well, is it? Anyhow, and so if I just go to gains, hit enter, I can then use the joystick. Oh, we might have to increase the iris here a bit. Come out of there. Okay, so we're just going to go into. I can't show you the joystick because I need my hand that's holding the iPhone. But anyhow, so we can adjust it. We'll just go into blacks here. Blacks, and oh, hang on, it's the wrong camera. Let's just up here on the blacks. You can see here the blacks will can move the blacks all around. So there you have it. You have the full black and gains RGB color controls for matching, and you have a gamma, overall gamma control. We can also, if I just make sure that picture's there, we can come back here and turn bars on. It's camera bars, which is seen up in here. The hide bars. Come back here again. You might see it this way. Bars, show bars. Turn bars off. You can also go. You probably can't see it through the iPhone, but I'm going to turn detail off, and probably if I could focus it, you might see it change. It's even the iPhone's having trouble focusing on a detail off. I can go high detail. There you go. That's high detail. I can go medium detail. I can go default detail, and I can go detail off. The Sony cameras themselves have a totally variable detail, but the ATEM controller only has those set positions. So I've allowed those to be nominal settings, but when you're controlling the interface, you can actually set values specific to what you want to use them with. And I think we're done. You can. I'm looking at using putting zoom control and focus control. In fact, I'll probably explain a lot more about that later on in another video, because I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes and I'm about to break it. So basically, just a quick summary. That's full CCU control of using any CCU controller, being the software panel or hardware panel, and it is controlling the Sony EX-3 or any Sony camera that can use a CNA1. And when the camera is being controlled using the remote control, being here, none of the functions, well, only the iris, manual iris switch, but everything else on the camera is disabled because it's all being controlled through there. So that's it. If you're interested in buying the controller to work your CN1 to control this, let me know. And if you're interested in buying just the direct 8-pin controller from the ATEM, which is called an ATEM2CNA, let me know, and I'll put you on the list when I start delivering them. Goodbye.